Last Tuesday was a night of fabulous fashion at the recently concluded opening party of South Africa Fashion Week, which was held in the Fire Room at Mall of Africa in Midrand, South Africa. We saw A-list celebrities like AKA Nadia Nakai and so many more turning up in amazing fashion pieces.
The Miss Uganda pageant is one known to promote and export beauty from Uganda to the world. The girls not only come with beauty, but with brains and a cause for change.
That and so much more we're going to be discussing tonight on the show. And of course, my name is Nicole Estella. Welcome to the show. Don't forget, we are proudly sponsored by Geisha Naturals, specially made for African skin.
Welcome to the show. My name is Roma Kizito and we are proudly brought to you by Geisha Naturals. And of course, to do that with me every single Friday of the week is the ever beautiful Nicole Est. Why are you smiling, Nicole?
Thank you for the intro, yeah? I'm excited to be on the show, so I'm just waiting for you to just, welcome me on the show, and then I'm like,
is it the mood for end of year party?
I don't know. I'm just, it's just a good day.
You're a happy soul.
I'm a happy soul as
Of
well.
course, we are here to talk about fashion, but we are having a target of one of the most beautiful personalities that we know of the recent years in the pageantry world, and that is Oliver Nakakande. By the mention of that name, the only thing that comes to my mind is Miss Uganda.
Yeah, Oliver Nakakande was Miss Uganda 2019-2020. Of course, just before the pandemic, and she was reigning Miss Uganda for quite some time until she
all through the pandemic.
Yeah, until actually something happened during that period, because she was not in the country. What they did, they asked the first runner-up to take over, second runner-up to be first runner-up, like that, in that order, because she'd gone to Dubai to study. Of course, she wanted to level up, so she went to Dubai to study and also work. So while she was there, because of her studies, she could not really fulfill her responsibilities as a reigning Miss Uganda.
What are some of those responsibilities that a reigning Miss Uganda is actually supposed to go in for?
We talked about this with Miss Tourism when she came here. It's not just getting the crown and then you're done and over with it. You have to work. It's a job. They do outreaches. They go and speaking engagements in schools, in universities, in modeling agencies. They do outreaches to the less privileged. They are brand ambassadors, and they represent the whole pageantry. Miss Uganda, it's Miss Uganda. The Miss Uganda, renamed Miss Uganda, isn't supposed to represent the organization in whatever work they are doing.
Oliver Nakakande is one young and beautiful lady that is out there when it comes to the cause of the girl child and the women. And in recent cases where we had issues of domestic violence, we saw her voicing out her dissatisfaction to the men that actually advocate and practice domestic violence.
When I saw her standing up against domestic violence, of course we know a certain celebrity beat up his girlfriend. We heard it in the news.
There is nothing wrong with actually mentioning names, because that is domestic violence, and we are here to stand against it.
It needs to be condemned on all levels. You see, one thing I was actually thinking, as a society in Uganda, we are a bit complacent when it gets to these issues like this. Had it been, say, in a developed country, an artist like that would have been cancelled. Your career has ended.
We don't have a cancel culture here.
We don't have cancel culture here, and that's why people can do things and get away with them. I think that's such a big thing that Nakakande is doing, and for me, I have so much respect for her to know that she came out and said these things, not caring what the fans of this person are going to say.
And of course, we've seen her have so many projects in Uganda as well. She gave out sanitary towels to the unprivileged young ladies. She gave out scholastic materials to Anna Island when she came over. I think that was earlier this year. And she's done lots of these other things. She recently represented our beautiful country, Uganda, in the Miss Grand International.
Yeah, and I was watching Miss Grand International. It was widely watched, guys, like over 1.6 million
on YouTube
views on the live session on YouTube. That is crazy.
But of course we had lots of very funny comments on there. Some people call it an Asian pageant.
I think you wouldn't blame them for saying that, because most countries there that are okay. I think it's mostly Asians that top these pageants. I don't know why. Of course, UK was there, Uganda is there, all these other countries.
We had other African countries as well, but we didn't see top 10, top 20. We didn't see
seeing Cambodia, we're seeing Vietnam, we're seeing Guatemala, we're seeing these countries. I think because those countries take modeling seriously.
We were represented for the very, very first time as Miss Grand Uganda. And of course, she's under general model management. Yes. And the country...
representative.
Exactly, of Miss Grand. They have the license to do that. So they have the right to choose whoever they feel.
But anyway, I always trust Joram's judgment. He's someone that has been in the industry for a very long time. He's passed the test of time, but also he is his craftsmanship is just always on point. So I really trust his judgment. Though of course we never even made it to like top 10. I loved her walk. She had so much energy with her walk.
Very, very graceful.
Very, very graceful.
Bust up. She looked like
she has a great
walk. Came out of general model management just yesterday.
Yeah.
And of course she was in Miss Uganda. It wasn't her first pageant, so she looked exactly how we expected her to look like. And of course, others talk about her costume. Yeah, I think it's one of those things that took so much of my attention.
Yes.
And the good thing is, it was made by a Ugandan designer, Derek Kisinga. We've seen him design very many outfits. He's the one that designed that famous outfit of Babi Chagulani on her birthday. So it was a very beautiful piece.
It's very artistic.
What do you have to say about that one?
I feel like the outfit was very artistic. It was not your ordinary normal dress. The fact that he came up with something different, and we always preach taking our back cloth to the world. She literally took it to the world.
Absolutely. And
people, I'm sure, were like, what is that material? Yeah. What is that? What is that? They've never seen it before. And then she's like, oh, this is actually made from a tree. From a tree?
And that should be what rural tourism is all about. Attracting your own, using your own. I mean, the wings. Because I was
actually wondering, the wings, what's the wings? And now she explains it perfectly well. Makes a lot of sense. It was a very beautifully put together outfit. I feel like her designer is one of those people that does not copy and paste things.
He's original. What do you think is the impact of such pageants to us, the people, not just to the person?
These beauty queens should be an extended hand of these pageants to get into these communities. If you see there is a problem maybe with sewage drainage, especially like here in Uganda, Kampala, sewage drainage, you, a beautiful queen, lobby some people, get that work done. You understand? If you see there is a problem, say in corruption in a certain organization, say maybe with getting passports and all of that, as a beauty queen, stand up and speak about these things. You know, you're going to be heard because, I mean, you're a celebrity, you have a platform, you're a beauty queen.
And you're an authority as well.
And you're an authority as well. People will listen. If you see there is an issue with domestic violence, come up and condemn it. Don't look at things and just go like, oh, we're here to look good or we are pretty, whatever. Stand up and speak about this thing. Get down to the root cause and try to fix
Nicole,
them.
I need you to go in for a pageant next year because looks like you know everything that...
Darling, I cannot model. Far from being a model.
But you can be a beauty queen.
Darling, don't even make fun of me.
And of course, there are other issues in the now world. Things like climate change. I saw most of the projects from the representatives from these Asian countries. They tackled so much about the environment, sustainability, SDGs, climate action. I saw most of that. Let's go in for a quick breather, but when we are back, we have more fashion for you, and that was the grand opening of the South African Fashion Week.
Welcome back from that short break, and of course we are proudly sponsored by Geisha natural, specially made for African skin. Before we went in for the quick break, we were telling you about South Africa Fashion Week. There was the grand opening, the opening ceremony in South Africa, in Midrand at Mall of Africa, in the Fire Room. And
you just seem to love South Africa so much. How long were you there?
27. I was in and out, but for a period I think of 4 years.
Oh wow. Before we even dive into the outfits, of course we go to these events for the fashion, but the industry is not just about the clothes but also how organized these people are. Why is South Africa way ahead of us? Or I need to rephrase the question, why are we lagging behind when it comes to organizations like that?
Fashion, for starters, in South Africa is a huge deal. You see fashion designers with huge names, the cards, Johan, Kowese, fashion designers like that. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but you see very big fashion designers, the David Lales, Makosa. They have a name too. They have to keep up, their names. Number one, they are big brands. We have fashion designers here who are not so big. So probably artists are like, why should I collab with this person who is struggling and whatever? But also the thing about South African celebrities, I believe they're like Nigerians.
They have capability, big influence.
Exactly. They have a capability of being international celebrities. So for any big event, they just have to show up. For their own brands as well. It kind of pushes their brands as well.
But you see, my issue is, if you are a Jose Chameleon and you're an international star, why do you have to go and actually buy clothes from a boutique store? Why not support Ugandan designers? I think that is one way of pushing the industry, and I think countries like South Africa actually doing that to push themselves.
Yeah, could be an issue of money. We're not sure. I think we need to speak to them to start choosing Ugandan designers.
It is very, very important to push our own local talent, a designer, a tailor, a stylist. I want us to dive into some of these fashion pieces that we saw celebrities donning. And I want us to start with the famous rapper, aka People's Baby Daddy. What do you think about his piece?
AKA was wearing a yellow suit. Oh my goodness. If anyone wants to stand out, first of all, he's a yellow bone. I mean, like
he loves bright colors.
Yeah, he's a yellow bone. He's a light skinned, and him wearing yellow, he's just all out there. I love the fact that his suit had Ankara details at the top, and I was expecting a bit of sneakers from him being
street
a
style.
rapper. I needed a bit of street style from AKA, because I mean, he always comes through dapper. You guys, we always tell you, wear well-fitting suits. Well-fitting does not mean tight and does not mean baggy. It just means it fits in the right places. And I loved his Ankara. What do you think about his Ankara detail at the top of his suit?
I think he's Africanizing himself. Even when you listen to his recent songs, he's speaking about Africa. Some, of course, rappers love using parables, but he's speaking about Africa. He's very proud of where he comes from.
What do you think about his choice of color?
I think his choice of color was actually because of, you see, it's a culture, it's a rapper's culture.
I mean, he was wearing a suit, it's already a bit toned down.
Exactly, it's a rapper's culture to always stand out. Because they always tell us these stories of where we come from. Every rapper has a funny story behind that.
Of how they were, how they started at the bottom.
Absolutely.
And then now they're up here.
So it is one way of pushing it out there that, yo, I'm actually AKA. It is me.
Talking about AKA, we want to talk about his now girlfriend, Nadia Nakai. What do you think about this olive green gown?
That is something that one would wear to like a big red carpet show. And she looked very comfortable meanwhile.
Yeah, she looked very comfortable. I love the gloves, and I love the color of the dress. It was just a well-fitting dress. So I was actually surprised that she actually wore such an outfit. I would never expect Nadia Nakai to be wearing that. I would expect something maybe like ruffled, like a short ruffled dress.
Or like cargo kind.
Oh yes, but of course not for the red carpet, like a ruffled dress, maybe with a trench and heels, little heels, or sneakers, because Nadia Nakai, we saw her in Young, Rich and Famous, and all the time when these ladies were always coming through, dripping in gowns, dripping in beautiful dresses. Nadia Nakai was always in wearing her element. Joggers. Yeah. She was always wearing sweatpants. She was always wearing t-shirts. I feel like she never put in so much effort, and she was just in her element. That's how mostly people know her. She's always like so dressed down, and seeing her in this kind of gown, it wasn't my best, but I would give it to her
because it's her. All right, and we have this other piece of Nigerian stylist.
Yes, Swanky Jerry.
Oh my God. This guy, like,
he calls himself the god of fashion.
I've followed his journey. He was a stylist of the former First Lady of Nigeria, and I think that is how he started to make a big name.
A big name for himself.
But we're having Scottish vibes in this outfit that was made by David Lally. What do you think about it?
I love the outfit that was made by David Lally. I love it on Swanky Jerry. I feel like it is so much in his element. We've seen him wearing heels. I don't know what those heels for men are called.
They're also called heels, meanwhile.
Do they, with like chunky soles, do they get them from like the men's collection? Or that is like in the female
that is actually not even selection. Just chunky. They're real heels. David Lally was wearing the same as well. Yeah. So there is a men's collection in Balenciaga for that kind of heels. Fendi also has that kind right now.
Yeah.
So I think they are being embraced slowly by slowly.
And one thing about Swanky Jerry is that he has very futuristic tastes. His fashion is so futuristic. He's not afraid to carry a handbag. He's not afraid to wear a skirt.
Chains.
He's not afraid to wear earrings, like loop earrings or like dangling earrings. He was wearing dangling earrings. He was wearing these were actually shorts. At first I thought it was a skirt, but they're like shorts that look like a skirt.
Skirt in
yes, for lack of a better word. They're shorts but they look like a skirt. And he's wearing this very bright colored
so many colors in one shirt.
Yes, and then a handbag. I did not see the handbag coming.
I think it's an issue of David Lally. You would never see David Lally without a handbag.
You know, I would understand like the small parcels that men carry. Swanky Jerry was carrying a whole big female handbag. It also had a touch of David Lally.
Of course.
David Lally is always wearing, are they called dresses? They're called like...
Skirty impale. That is the simpler word. He wears black every single day.
David Lally.
I've never seen David Lally in another color.
I need to ask David Lally, why are you always wearing...
In my life, I've never seen him wear something different.
And of course, we won't go without talking about the very famous DJ Zinle. For those of you that don't know who DJ Zinle is, she is one of a very first female DJs.
Being a DJ only means one thing: you can speak through what you wear, and that is what she did. And her being in a suit, quite safe for her.
She wasn't wearing your normal girl suit. She was wearing a suit that was very fashionable and very fashion forward. I love the flares on the pants and the flare on the arms. The arms were like very long past her hands.
And huge, yeah.
Very huge arms and very detailed, chunky shoulder. And also I love the fact that she chose purple for her shoes. It was just like a color combination situation.
And they wore it like very high. I think for DJs, comfort comes first.
Comfort comes
because you know you're gonna dance anytime.
Any red carpet, guys. There's a red carpet that I was on, and I was wearing these very, very hot golden shoes, heels, and they were extremely uncomfortable. But you'd look at them and go like, wow. And it was a nightmare for me. Like, why look good and yet you are stressing? Like, you are not comfortable.
There just needs to be a balance of both.
Yeah, there has to be a balance of both for you.
Absolutely. So, guys, don't forget we are shooting on location, Iconic Underground. And I was dressed by Iconic, from head to toe. I really love these Chelsea boots. There were some reservations with my producer. She was like, why are you wearing Chelsea boots on that kind of outfit? But then, like Nicole said, comfort is very, very important. And the issue with color blocking, you know, I'm wearing black. And of course,
wearing pink.
Pink. So brown is the black when it comes to shoes. Brown, black, it can literally go with anything.
Yeah.
And for those of you that look at comfort first before even fashion, Chelsea boots are the way to go.
Yeah.
I was dressed by Iconic. Check them out. And don't forget to follow me at Roma Kizito, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube very soon. And let's keep the fashion industry moving.
And of course, I was dressed by Iconic. I love my fit today, from dress and the shoes. Find them at Senana Building. Senana is in the city center. Find them at Senana Building in the basement. They have outfits for both men and women and anything you'd want to be in your wardrobe, from jewelry, shoes, fragrances, and so much more. Also follow them on social media, Iconic UG. Also follow me on social media. On Instagram, my handle is Nicole_Estella77. A Style Project, follow us, NTV Style Project on social media. On Instagram, you need to be updated about fashion news, about what is happening in the fashion industry. Follow us on NTV Style Project. We love you so much. From us to you, adios.